If sensor size doesn't matter, why don't you use small sensor cameras? This is a question that I received a lot from 2022 all the way to like 2025, because a lot of people assume that because I was shooting with a Leica full frame camera, that I must have only shot full frame cameras. Because I made videos about the GFX 50R and how I use that for certain work, I must have only been shooting medium format cameras. And that's not necessarily the case. I've always been a person that's been a big proponent of crop sensor cameras, and I've always shot crop sensor cameras. And to be honest with you, full frame is literally a crop sensor camera. I'm going to be showing you images from a trip that I took on an OM system, OM3. I can accidentally say Olympus because I bought this with my own money. All of the gear has been paid for by me. And this isn't a review for Micro Four Thirds or for OM system cameras. This is actually just a conversation on why we have such a stigma about sensor size, number one, and number two, why we are okay with the fact that we've been trained to chase that the next thing is better, and if we don't have it, we can't accomplish anything. Over the last few months, I have transitioned to an iPhone 15 Pro Max for all of my B-roll and travel video and things like that. Tiny sensor, I get it. And for photos, I switched to an OM system, OM3, that I bought with my own money. This isn't sponsored. I'm not really going to be talking about the camera, but honestly, I've shot Micro Four Thirds before, and the images are good, just like they're good in APS-C, just like they're good on full frame, just like they're good on GFX. So I took that with me on the road and made a trip to Forks, Washington, and took some photos along the way. Like I said, we made a few stops along the way. There's a place, Lake Crescent, that I always like to stop. It's just got beautiful views. The lake is beautiful. Sometimes you get an amazing fog on there. I am challenging myself to attempt fine art photography and landscapes, and I've been doing this for the last couple of years. I'm trying something new, mostly because I don't know anything about it and I want to see if I can get okay at it. None of these are like a favorite, anything that I believe is going to go in my portfolio, but they were just great things to learn. I'm getting better at this. My first attempts were really bad, especially the ones on film, but the last few rolls I've gotten back, and more importantly, the last few digital files that I've been able to use, because you know, when it rains, I need something that's weather sealed. It's gotten a lot better. I'm really far behind. One of the things I've noticed with photographers whenever it comes to upgrading their gear, whether it's they're going to a larger sensor or just to something brand new, buying a new lens, buying a new camera when everything previously was just fine, I've just noticed that it's the idea that this will make me better. This will make my work better. This will help me improve and take me to the next level. And honestly, a lot of times, and a lot of people will admit that that's absolutely nowhere near the truth. But I think challenging yourself with attempting something, whether or not it becomes anything, whether or not it becomes a project, these photos are just a few will go in my portfolio, but I'm never going to make a book out of these. This isn't what I need to be known as, but challenging yourself to try something you're uncomfortable with, that you're not good at, whether you're do only portraits and you want to try street, whether you do street and you want to try portraits, whether you only do photo and you want to try videography, whether you're usually doing music videos and you want to try documentary, challenging yourself to do something that is outside of your comfort zone that you know nothing about, and you have to actually make yourself learn something and not come into it with all the answers, is going to take you farther than upgrading your gear, buying that new lens, getting a 1.2, a 1.4, whatever it is, getting a 60 megapixel sensor. That's going to show more in your work later on than the new lens. Anyway, we eventually made it to Forks, Washington. Fantastic place. They have a great subway. Not sure about anything else. So we did make it to a couple beaches out there, like La Push. We went to First Beach. And taking these photos, again, just trying something new, long exposures, trying to take high resolution photos and things like this. It's nice. There's a few that I like, just because, first off, the image and like the grandioseness of these little islands, but also there are some things. I had people walking through shots, and so I just started using them, incorporating them, using long exposures. It was pretty cool seeing some of these figures on there because it makes them look like ghosts. Not something that I would ever, you know, print out or want for myself, but I mean, it's a cool photo. These are just kind of warm-up shots. They're not my favorite from the trip, but I don't know, they're decent. It's again growing. I do like this one. Don't know why. It's most of the colors. This is about at 3 o'clock, so that's basically it. Art and photography don't discriminate against someone's wealth class, and they don't discriminate against the gear that someone has. Art and photography is neutral. It is what you make it, and more than anything, it is the passion that you put into whatever medium you choose. If you're a sculptor, if you're a painter, if you're a photographer, if you're a writer, the passion that you have goes directly into your work. And if you lack passion, well, your work lacks pizzazz. But if you have a lot of passion you put into it, it doesn't matter who sees it, who likes it, who hates it, you will always feel something about the work that you've put in. I've said it before on this channel, and I say it in my day-to-day life, but if your images are asked, they're going to be asked in 100 megapixels or in full frame or medium format. It doesn't matter what it is. A bad photo is a bad photo. Your images don't get better just because of the camera brand or the system or the sensor size that you have. They get better when you get better at composing, when you get better at lighting, when you get better at just understanding what you're trying to communicate. Are you taking interesting photos? Are what you're taking a photo of, is it interesting? Hall of Moss is kind of fun. Just walked around there, and it's one of those things where photography is hard to translate how beautiful and how cool it is. You could take photos. I'm sure I could have bust out the 645 Pro. They wouldn't have been better. It just would have been higher resolution. Like, I gotta be honest, there's nothing that would have made these images, in my opinion, better. Just with the climate and the way things were and the positioning I had, like a newer sensor, a new camera, or a larger sensor wouldn't have, you know, knocked the socks off of everything. But after the Hall of Moss, we went, and it was my favorite time during the day, we went to Rialto Beach. Now, let me tell you something about Rialto Beach. Pain in the ass to walk on. It's gravel, it's like sand, you're falling in it, you are tired. Like, it is the longest 2-mile, 3-mile stretch ever. You have to do it both ways. You have to run over a little river. We got wet, we climbed over logs. Like, it was great. As far as for the photos, I got there at the right time. The sun was out, the tide was low, things were moving, and the sea was rough. For someone trying to do long exposure photography and the things I was trying to capture, it was great. There's this one photo that I took that I absolutely love. I don't know if it's good. I love it because the seagull stood still for a 1-minute exposure. It was great. He stood very, very still. I think he moved his head once, and little buddy looks like a star in this. But again, when you focus up on this and you zoom in, if I was to tell you that this was a long exposure 645 frame or a, you know, whatever frame, would you be able to tell that it wasn't? I can't honestly say that you would, and I don't care if you could. So at the end of the day, the reason why I'm making this video isn't because the Olympus camera is great. I could have done this on my X Pro 3s. I could have done this on film. And honestly, I could have done this on a full frame. The camera absolutely doesn't matter, especially when I'm doing something like landscapes and stuff. If you want to see a portrait, here's a portrait on Micro Four Thirds. I think that's more than enough bokeh. This is even stopped down to f2.2 so I could make sure my whole face was in focus. So, but fast forwarding a little bit, we were very tired from Rialto Beach. We were cold, we were wet, and we went to bed early, so we woke up early. And because of that, we decided instead of going back to bed or whatever, we just hop in the car and leave. And so we did that. We jumped in the car and we were timing things up and it just kind of worked out perfectly. I didn't mean to do this, but I knew in the back of my mind, okay, Lake Crescent's gonna be here. Hey, what time is sunrise? And so we got to around Lake Crescent in this nice little portion to where it's there's a cutout. There's the ocean or the lake. There's a valley kind of between two mountains, and there's a giant mountain in the middle. Don't know what the name of it is. Maybe Mount Hood. I have no idea. It's a photo that I'd taken before, but this time I just wanted to see. I knew which direction the sun was going to be rising from. I could already tell the colors were going to be good. The sky didn't look too crazy overcast. It was just about, you know, the fog coming across. Was it going to, you know, make things tricky? And so I waited out there, and honestly, favorite photos from the trip. And I took this kind of photo in a high resolution mode, and I crunched it into a panoramic photo. And if anything, just for the colors, not necessarily because the sensor size or because whatever. Like I just like it because of colors. That's it. Like the silhouette of everything, the way the light's hitting stuff to where, you know, you can kind of see the detail in between the mountains and stuff. I just think it was right place, right time. My wife being patient, so I'm able to stay and take these photos. It was just overall a good time. And yeah, these are some of my favorite. And honestly, that's the thing, is a lot of times you just luck into a good photo. You luck into a good job or an opportunity. And, you know, sometimes that's what you need. More than anything is just luck on your side. But I made this video because sincerely, I think we overthink what good photography is. And a lot of times when we think of what good photography is, we are so enamored with the gear that someone else uses, not because we appreciate the machinery, but because in our minds, I want to achieve that. Like, you can like these things, you can find out how to achieve them because you want to achieve this look, but this idea that that image now has more weight or is more valuable because it has a blurrier background or because it has a higher, you know, range of detail zoomed into 300%, that's just I don't know, just kind of weird to me. I don't subscribe to that. Maybe you do, maybe I'm wrong. I honestly don't care if I am. But the dismissiveness of these small sensor cameras is weird, because honestly, your work should hold up. Shouldn't matter what you use. All that being said, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And remember to take it light, but take it, and have a good one. And, oh, of course, as always, fuck ice.